How is up, everyone? It's your boy, a talking Marshmallow. And today, we're going to have a little chat about how the goddamn Tempest Trial seals we were getting this round is absolutely amazing! And the rather nice Christmas banner featuring Sephiran! Da 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 da! I mean, sure, yeah, I was expecting Mystic Booze as a seal. Eventually. But for it to come with Fortress DevRes, ooh, this is the real Christmas gift right here. So let's get over the basics, okay? When it comes to Mystic Booze, I'm sure you all know of my God feeling, right? The idea is that a perfect miracle loop requires a minimum requirement. A distant counter or close counter, some kind of skill charge increase like from Flashing Blade or Breath, some way to hit an opponent twice, and a Mystic Boost or one way or another after, so you can do the after combat health recovery. That's the bare minimum. Now for the likes of God Beelith, I still think that he's still the best for this set, because he comes with no follow-up on his weapon, guard negation, and also a cooldown of -1 as a cherry on top. This allows him to hit miracles even easier with Time's Pulse. Now, however, due to the nature of this original set that I've given God Beelith, he has to use a seal slot to equip Flashing Blade, because otherwise he can't charge fast enough. He can't exactly give up his A slot because he needs that distant counter. So now that Mystic Boost is a thing, Absolute God Beelith can now exist and can run something stupid like, Special Spiral in the B slot. Since his miracle only costs 4 to begin with, well, now he can effectively cut it down to 2 after a Special Spiral proc. So as long as he can hit an opponent once, if paired up with Lucina or someone with Infantry Rush or something like that, he can literally never die because stupid God Beelith can just negate guard and all of its variations. Well, that is the absolute miracle setup. You'll need a partner for it, but if you don't have it, that's fine. He can easily hold his own without support as long as he doesn't obliterate his opponent in one hit or encountering someone who's faster than him. Just hit twice, you're okay. For my set, I still use Time's Pulse, despite it not stacking with Special Spiral, because I need him to get started sooner. I wish Ares could do something like that, but, well, so it is. Oh, but wait a minute. I just thought of an idea. What if Ares uses Vantage and that? No, but he needs Heavy Blade to get started. He needs Heavy Blade. It won't work for Ares. Ares needs Heavy Blade. Never mind that. But you know what? Another dude that I think could run this well is Xian Hitler. So the double bow that he has is a close countering weapon with a special trigger attached. Therefore, he can just say run Flashing Blade on his A slot, or get a support or something like that and use some other A slot skill. And he can run a similar set. He too will have a 2-charge miracle because of that -1 reduction. That means if he were to get smacked in the face and attack back, he'll charge up a miracle instantly. Now if he were to go on the attack, he can hit, lose miracle, hit again, get it right back. Now problem with Hitler is that he can't negate guard, or he can use no follow-up. This is a twofold weakness that God Beelith covers quite handily. But, well, he can still work with this set. It's still pretty decent. Now, Marita is much like Xian, but instead of having an A slot to charge, she has no follow-up that she could have in her weapon. Now, both have their good points, but they're not quite at God Beelith's level. That guard reduction is just such a godsend. Now, other variation exists, like, Sayuri, for example, with her Amatsu. But the problem with Amatsu is that, Amatsu needs 50% HP or more to get distant counter, so she's pretty much Garbo, and anyone who suggests using her to do the infinite miracle loop clearly have not done their research. Now, a similar deal exists with Saber. Now, Saber could probably work this a little bit better than Sayri, but he requires you to have the miracle up to begin with. So you gotta make sure you land a skill, charge one hit after a miracle is procced, and then you can get a special spire, and hopefully you have enough to get another miracle. If not, well, you die. So I think that Saber is too situational to make this work. But I think, though, in this Christmas banner, the crazy Altina and Sanaki duo will work. Now, she hits twice, has Vantage that she can activate whenever she wants. She runs very well with Special Spiral because, well, now she's an infantry, which is, by the way, the biggest mistake they could have made with this unit, because now she can be super OP with infantry skills like the aforementioned Special Spiral. Now, she'll have to run Heavy Blade or something in the A slot to power up a miracle, but her attack might not be enough. It is a brave weapon after all, despite how shiny it is. Now, running with Lucina is probably the best course of actions. You could just equip a breath or something like that, and then when you do that, yeah, her stupid Vantage nonsense practically guarantees her a miracle before even a fight starts. I think she is probably the closest to God Belith in terms of making this true infinite miracle loop nonsense happen. I think you'll need something, though. Double attack. Yeah, you still have to have Special Spiral. Yeah, you still have to have Special Spiral. I thought about it. Yeah, I guess you could use Times Pulse, but then you can only do it once per turn, so yeah. You have to have Special Spiral in her B slot in order to make this miracle for Altina and Sanaki. It's kind of pricey, but you know what? Special Spiral on Altina and Sanaki is very deadly, but I'll explain that later. Now, I considered even more options when I looked through the weapon list, like Homeless Celica and her Royal Sword. But see, the problem is that those weapons all have weird problems, like needing 25% HP for the Royal Sword. So in order to get these bonuses, they really threw me off. So I believe the above options that I mentioned earlier are currently the best options for now. Anyway, I seem to have gone on a long tangent about Mystic Boost and Miracle Loop. I mean, aside from what I've already named, there's also the stupid Hell. Hell could use it. Could use it for her own brand of miracles against physical attack. But I suppose we can also run this with a low-level, low-HP Celat. Then there's the ranged tanks that can... actually, might it be possible? No, if only there's a way to keep the low-level Celat from getting hit twice. Actually, there might be a build I can think of for him, but that's something I'll have to consider later. Anyway, so then there are the ranged tanks that can use this to stop dragons cold. But anyway, if I keep theory crafting this, we'll never end. So let's just end our segment about their seals with that. Or at least for that Mystic Boost seal. Because I almost forgot we have Fortress DevRes. Fortress DevRes seal is absolutely amazing, and you know what? Even then, it's nothing compared to Mystic Boost. It's like having Guard as a seal. I would cream all over about that. I would talk about how useful it is non-stop. But, well, yeah, Mystic Boost almost made me forget about Fortress DevRes. That's how good it is. But you know what? God, do I love guaranteed chunks of stats. Like, my Silk and Asnard will become so tanky that it's almost illegal. When more damage reduction counters come about, stuff like Deadeye and such like that, and their weapons or something like that. Oh, a weapon that specifically destroys damage reduction. Yeah, your true defense stats will never betray you. If you use a Guard anyway, you gotta stop those Moonbowls and Lunas after all. But in any case, we're done talking about the seals for now. If you want to talk to me about the seals, those funny little things, just feel free to comment on here or something. Anyway, so the next topic at hand is the wonderful Christmas banner. So about this one, I think I am most looking forward to getting Sephiran, for sure. That cannon baton that he has is freely transferable to other healers and has the ability to grant others Guard. That same Guard that I would cream over, just by being 2 spaces near him. That's amazing. well, if the description isn't wrong anyway, it could very well just be that, oh yeah, only his own attacks would cause -1, but I kind of doubt that. I feel like the -1 skill charge is probably transferable, seeing how this thing has less dev res bonus than the Toasty Skewer. I mean, you never know, but let's just say that it does. Then this weapon combined with Flame will make your main tank extremely tanky. Time and time again, the value of keeping the enemy from using their skills with guard cannot be overstated. Now, his next set of tools is a little bit sus. The odd recovery, in my opinion, is a really great skill, but the requirements for odd turns really bothers me. So let me explain. Usually, when you restore your units, you're generally looking to do it on player phase, because that's the only time you can do it, and you're using it to clear up any debuffs that are snaring your carries so that they can move in and do whatever they need to do to get you the win. However, Sephiran here plays by his 2-space guard staff, which is more of an enemy face support weapon. Now, what is really intriguing about this odd recovery is that it merely just states that it takes effect at the start of odd-numbered turns. So if this thing works like I think it does, then perhaps it could work on odd enemy phase turns as well. And if so, that is huge! Because that is generally when the enemy starts tossing debuffs at you at the start of their turns. Now, if you can avoid their panics and the guards and whatever tricks your enemy intends to bother you with, then this skill is beyond powerful. Huge! Like my dog. Capable of turning an entire fight. I mean, not to mention a heal of 20 on the enemy turn. That's just not right in the head, man. But the problem is that, well, for odd turns. I have no guarantee that what I also said might actually be true. It could literally be one of those things where, it only recovers during my turn. It could literally be so terrible when that happens that it only works on my odd player phase turns, in which case then the skill is complete garbage. Because again, enemy tosses debuffs at you at the start of their turn, so you want to cleanse that the most as an enemy face unit. Otherwise, I mean, the man is an armored healer unit. Winter Hilda has been very nice to me with the added BST and fighter skills, but now that armor killing is practically everywhere, this is basically really just a weakness. Besides which, you gotta catch up to the unit you're supporting with a 2-space staff anyway. Being fat and armored probably won't help much, whereas Eureka can use her thing from across the map, as the Hell Puppeteer Eureka should. So I think being fat and armored really doesn't accomplish much here. Now, the next unit we're going to talk about is Bernadetta. Now, Bernie losing the CYL made her so angry. Instead of ripping in a door and beating over someone in the head with it, she beats you with a house, an entire house. She puts on a Christmas outfit and creates affordable housing, and she's a green horse tome, and her skills are nothing special, except for one, her pref weapon, the wrist. I probably don't need to explain how powerful it'll make the likes of CYL, Marshmallow, Bernie herself, Sealed Falchion, and, well, Bernie herself, right? Good. Now next up is Hilda! And I have no idea what the hell happened to her. She kind of came to this game, get power crept by a bunch of future axe units, like Annette. Then all of a sudden, she's a Christmas spear armor. The candy cane that she has looks like a more powerful form of the guard lance. If you have friends within 2 spaces, well, I guess even follow-up isn't too bad. As we've seen in like what I did with the odd follow-up that Christmas Eureka demonstrated when we were doing the Halls of Forms, when she killed everyone and everything, and tanked them. It is not like it's the most overpowered skill in the world, but it is goddamn strong when it works. I don't think everyone's really gotten into the whole no follow-up mindset, which is a huge shame. I think no follow-up is a superior skill that more people use, but I mean, it's also locked behind 5 stars and 6,000 6,000 points of whatchamacallit, the compile thing. Yeah, I can't remember the actual name for it. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, before we move on, Felix uses the same weapon type as Hilda, in which that you get extra stats when you're near friends, and you can also have guard, except on a ball. He looks like a player phase type of guy. I mean, having guard on a player phase is actually better than you would expect. Much better than you would expect. Now, finally, we have Altina and Sanaki. We talked about what Sanaki does. We've seen what Sanaki does. She's been out for like a year or two now. And in my opinion, being an infantry now is such a boon for her. I mean, look at that Null Seed Disrupt that she comes with. That Null Seed Disrupt is more than enough reason. Being a harmonized hero, because Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn are different games, or whatever, she acts much like a dual hero anyway. Her allies gets a crappy attack and speed boost, but she gets a vantage on demand. It looks to be once per map, which is good because she's already looking rather overpowered. Get that vantage out at the right time, and you wipe the enemy team out. No contest. And let me tell you something. In my 5 Duma defense, my gay clown Grania eats Altinas for lunch, and there's a very specific reason for that. But now it won't work here anymore. That being said, she could also use something else. She could also take a page off Gay Clown Grania herself and slap a special Spyro on that B slot. If she does that evil, she can deal ridiculous chunks of damage reduction, piercing damage, at the low price of getting free-shotted by healers, which it doesn't happen a lot. Not to mention that aforementioned miracle nonsense that we talked about earlier. We'll thank God for small favors that it's only for 1 turn, and that AIs can't use them, because there's plenty of room for abuse with free vantage with a B slot free, as Gay Clown Grania has shown us over the years. Well, that's about it. That's about all I can cover about this Christmas banner. I thank you all for watching. Until next time.